You ever wonder what keeps Smokey alive? How is she able to survive 50? Now it'll be 51 years in captivity in that tiny little plant.
Well, I think the natural lifespan of females we know now is way longer than we ever expected. It's like, 80 to 100 is definitely achievable. And, even in the early years, we thought the average could be at least in their 50s.
So just minimal maintenance, just food, basically, and
well,
not too dirty
thank
water.
goodness she had a very caring veterinarian and Jesse White at the beginning, and he made sure she had a good diet. She probably got a lot of drugs. Had to deal with psychologically with a ridiculously little tank.
That's what I'm wondering. I mean, almost all the others died, that were in captivity.
Yeah, why did she make it? Well, I think, she had real serious love from the beginning.
Okay.
And it's probably still there. I don't think anybody that takes care of whales doesn't love them, but it isn't that the conditions that they can provide them are happy for every whale. A lot of them are real unhappy, and a lot of errors have been made, especially in the early years. They couldn't keep them alive for more than a year because they didn't feed them right. Giving them salmon that are spawned out that they can't even use for cat food is not good. What do you expect? A bacterial infection. What do you expect? Deteriorating health and death.
They somehow got it right enough, or with enough tender loving care to keep her alive.
Yeah, it's pretty astonishing. He was a good man,
Sure.
and there have been good people, and they made way more money than they paid for her, and she's earned her retirement.
Well, how do you think she'll react
Thousands
in
of
the
times.
first minutes and hours of coming back to a protected place with her people around that she knows and trusts, but in an ocean, in this ocean, in the Sailor Sea,
With tides and with shellfish and with kelp and with
all of
creatures.
that
I think
stimulation,
she'll
all of
be,
that.
well, at first, there'll be a couple of days of like, where am I?
Yeah.
But she'll have her people with her, so it's okay,
Right.
it's okay. And then she'll check it out,
Yeah.
and then she'll, hey, this is pretty cool, this is a lot better. I don't want to put a value judgment in her head particularly, but she got a lot more space. She doesn't have to worry about bumping into something. She's got room. She's got natural things around her, things that she could probably remember from her so-called childhood or very early period.
I bet so.
Yeah, they don't forget stuff.
No.
Yeah,
Not.
We're brothers, and I remember you were my brother when I was a little kid.
Right.
Same person. And I remember pushing your what do you call it, stroller? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was only maybe 6, and you were probably 1.
Yeah. And orcas are precocious when they're born. They're well developed.
Yeah, they got good memories.
Yeah. So she learned all that.
I don't doubt that she'll have a remembrance of what it was like.
Yeah.
And I don't doubt that she won't have a feeling of freedom to just, wow, this is really, 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 really nice. You know, that was okay. I mean, she's still going to get fed. She's still going to get care. It's not like there's nothing for her to do. There's plenty for her to do now. She just doesn't get as much applause.
Yeah, right.
But that was not the driver anyway. It was food.
Right. But you won't have to do certain routines to get food.
She'll still probably do routines for exercise.
Yeah, sure.
But at some point, she won't need to do the routines that she did in her show. She can have her own routines, you know. I mean, it's turning something over. You know, there was this thing on the bottom that moves its little hands around when she turns it over, you know, a crab, for example.
Yeah.
You know, that could be pretty fascinating, you know. Maybe she had seen that in the past, maybe she hadn't. But, wow, and now a fish? And there's another one? Yeah. You know, they're not fillets. They actually come in, you know, Costco size. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, she'll love
I
it.
think it'll be stimulating.
Yeah,
Therapeutic.
yeah. I don't have any doubts about that, and I don't really have any doubts that she could be moved safely. I mean, if they were to sell her to another park, they would take every effort to move her safely to the other park so that they didn't end up having to give the money back.
Yeah. Which can be done. I mean,
Which can be done. It's been done over and over and over.
A lot of experience. Yeah.
That's the upside of having that ability, you know, that, yeah, you can move them around.
Right.
Just that, no, you shouldn't take them out anymore, because we learned that they don't do that well. Even though she's survived that many years, it's because she's kind of won the lottery in terms of being with the right humans for long enough and cared for enough, and the right thing to do for her now, since she's more than paid for her retirement, is retire her and let her, if she wants, go out and listen to her family.
Yeah.
Go out and be with them. I mean, that's getting a little hopeful, but I think she'll do it.
I tend to think so.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, even Keiko swam around those other whales. It's just that nobody really went out there to find out who his family was.
Yeah.
I mean, they sort of dabbled at it, but, you know, had they really seriously wanted to find out, they could have found out.
Yeah. But nobody's going to adopt an adult male into their natural line, you know. I mean, we know that.
Yeah, that'd be a serious drawback to begin with. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And whether or not she has any living relatives or mother is irrelevant. She has the language, and she has the, you know, she has the grammar school part.
Yeah.
So I think she'll do okay. And she'll be cared for anyway. So
Exactly.
it isn't like you're doing some grand experiment and risking her life. I think it would be wonderful to see. Very heartwarming. So do it.
Which would also bring us back to the orcas being so iconic and beloved that the value is to help them, and that leads to understanding the ecosystem, the food supply, the connections with the rest of habitat and ecosystem that shouldn't be damaged by extraction and
Yeah.
utilization. And
Yeah,
so
if she can
it's
help
good.
people understand that, especially the newer people that are just coming up, going through their education process, if she can help people understand through actually state-of-the-art science that can be done with her at the time and relate it to
Yeah.
what needs to be done on Earth.
So these topics are not really in complete isolation. I mean, Toki,
No.
Southern Residents, salmon, Elwha River, there's
Yeah, all things are connected.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
How are we doing?
breach the dam.
Reach the dam.
Let the whale go.
Reach the dam.
Yeah.
Yeah, Orca survey.
Your glasses are covering the dorsal fin, so maybe you ought to lift your glasses. Yeah.
Orca survey.
Yeah.